Ciao friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, thanks so much for stopping by. My name is Sophie and today's video is going to be an update about my teaching English online. So for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that I did transition from teaching English in an Italian school to teaching English just online to Chinese kids. And I did a video about a year ago kind of explaining the company I work for, how the platform works, payment, all of that jazz. But since then, I have changed companies. I do work for a different company now, and I have gotten asked from a lot of you, why did I leave the previous company? And I don't want to talk negatively about the company I was working for, but I would just like to say that it just wasn't the right fit for me. And this new company that I teach for is 100 times better fit for me. I love it. And I get excited to teach English online now, whereas before I kind of saw it as a drag and something that I had to do just to make money. So for those of you who are new, teaching English for me is just a part-time job. I left my full-time job in the States to live here in Italy, and one of the first jobs that I could get was being an English teacher. But now it is just a part-time job for me while I do pursue my other passions in digital marketing and social media and making videos here on YouTube. So I did ask you on Instagram if you had any questions about teaching English online, or if you wanted to know anything about the new company that I've been working for, to leave me a question in my Instagram stories. So I'm going to pull them up, kind of use them as a guideline for the video. But I first wanted to let you know that the company I teach English for now is called QKids, and it is teaching Chinese kids on an amazing platform. I've taught English for a couple other companies online, and I have to say, hands down, this has been my favorite. Not only because the people who work for QKids and the people who you communicate with through QKids are very professional. They speak English very well. That hasn't been the case in my previous positions. And they're very flexible, which I absolutely love. The last company I worked for, I had a contract, and in the contract was a set schedule that I couldn't really change week to week. Whereas working with QKids, you can change your schedule week after week. So for example, I can go on the app right now and change my availability and the hours I'd like to work for the following week, which I really like a lot better because I can plan weekly, and because it is a part-time job, I can also plan for my personal life outside of teaching. So I like the week-to-week scheduling. That's something that I prefer. Okay, so the most asked question is, why did you change? Why did you leave the previous company? And I did answer that just now. It just wasn't a good fit for me. I wasn't enjoying it. It was the first online teaching company that got back to me and told me that I was hired before any of the other ones that I had previously applied for. So that's why I started working for them, but that was kind of a mistake, honestly, now in the end. But everything happens for a reason, and they brought me to now teaching with QKids. Okay, now the next question is this company more flexible? Also, what are taxes to the USA like for you? So this company QKids is definitely more flexible. You do have a signed contract, but you can change your hours every week. You do have to meet a minimum requirement of hours, but it's very flexible. And if you need to be out of town or you need to take time off, you just need to shoot them an email about a week before to let them know. And it's not a problem at all. You don't get deductions or anything like that. Obviously, you don't get paid for the lessons you don't teach, but definitely more flexible, and the people are way more available. They use WeChat, so you can chat with the coordinators on WeChat. They have a chat on the app, and they're a lot more available than the previous company. I could never get a hold of anybody. If I had an emergency or a question, it was just not that organized. In regards to your question about taxes, you are hired as an independent contractor, so you are responsible for your own taxes. They don't, because they are a Chinese they are a company based in China, and everything they do is in China. They don't provide you with tax forms, so you are responsible for filing and claiming any income you receive as an independent contractor on your own terms. So I'm still working that out. I think I'm probably going to have to hire an accountant this time, because this is the first year I'm going to be doing taxes as an independent contractor. Yeah, I would say that's a little bit of a negative aspect. All right, so the next question is, how did you get started? I'm looking into it myself, but have no idea where to start. So, funny story, I was working as an English teacher in a private language school here in Rome, Italy, and I was very unhappy, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do full time. I wanted to put my energy into something I was a little bit more passionate about. I was chatting with one of my friends, and she told me, oh, you should check out this company. My friend is an English teacher for them. They're always looking for native English speakers. You should apply and see where it goes. He makes decent money for being part-time, working from your home. I immediately applied. I got interviewed, hired within just a couple days, and started that way. I have to be honest, I didn't do my research that much, and I didn't apply there's many other different online companies, and so that is how I started. And I did hear about QKids through actually another YouTuber who teaches English online part-time, and I really liked their website and their interview process and everything that they did. So then that's kind of how I transferred over to QKids. My biggest advice is where to start is kind of do some research on teaching English online companies and see what speaks to you, see what would be the best fit for you. There are definitely other companies online that isn't just teaching English online to Chinese kids. There are other platforms where you can teach your mother tongue to adults, to other nationalities, but I personally found myself really well with teaching Chinese kids, and the demand's very high, so it's very probable that you're going to have a full schedule with always a guaranteed class. And then, okay, so the next question is, did you choose to teach to Chinese kids? So it wasn't something that I sought out. I didn't wake up one morning and I wasn't like, I'm gonna teach Chinese kids today. It was through that friend of mine who told me about her friend teaching English to Chinese kids, and then I looked into it more, and that's kind of just the company that fell into my lap, I guess. Do you have to have a teacher's degree to be able to work as an online teacher? I think this depends entirely on the company that you're applying for. For example, I did not study education. I don't have a teacher's degree from a university, but I did take the CELTA, and I do have a CELTA certificate for teaching English as a second language. So I definitely think something like the CELTA or the TEFL is highly recommended and will up your chances to getting hired as an online teacher. These companies are looking for someone with experience, or at least with training. The next question is, I'm French Canadian and was wondering if teaching French is accessible. Well, I wanted to let you know that QKids only is currently hiring North American citizens, so if you're from the United States or from Canada. And they are only looking for English teachers, native English teachers. I'm sure you can teach French on other platforms. I know I have talked about other platforms on my channel before where you can teach your native language. You can even set up private lessons via Zoom, Skype. If you have a website, there's definitely ways to teach your mother tongue if that's what you're interested in doing. Okay, the next question is your pay better now? I'm currently with Dada ABC, thinking of moving soon too. The hourly pay rate is the same, but there are way more opportunities to get bonuses with QKids. So even though I'm not making more per month per se, because maybe I teach a little less, I'm a lot more happier with the structure, with the environment, with the company culture. So that's what I can tell you about that. Next question is, which online English teaching companies are the best in your opinion? There's tons of other platforms, like I mentioned. You just have to do your research, and it's really all about what's important to you. Is it pay? Is it hours? Is it flexibility? You kind of have to look into what the company provides for you in order for it to be best in your opinion. For me, It's the company culture and the environment and the materials provided. Of course, pay is a plus, but it's not my full-time job, so that's not really the biggest concern. I would rather be happier and getting a little less than miserable and getting more money. Someone else asks, what about teaching adults? Well, this platform you cannot teach adults. I'm not sure if this is asking me, like if I want to teach adults, or in general different platforms that you can teach adults. I have mentioned previously in some other videos on my channel different language platforms that you can become teachers for. As for me, I used to do private lessons here in Rome all the time with adults. I had a full schedule back to back every day with professionals. I wanted more time for myself to work on other projects that I'm more passionate about. And so for me personally, teaching kids online was going to be the best thing for me. I do still teach private lessons in person to a couple of kids that I started with back when I moved to Rome. I have a great relationship with them and their family, so I continue to do that. I love kids, and I think that it's really amazing to kind of see kids develop and how quick they are to learn. And so for me personally, I personally just enjoy teaching kids more. So those are all the questions I got from you guys on Instagram about teaching English online, about the switch that I made. I did link the information down below if you want to look into QKids, apply, it's all down below. And I'm happy to answer any other questions that you may have with QKids. Just leave the questions down below in the comments, and maybe I will compile them for a dedicated QKids video in the future. So thanks so much guys for clicking on this video. If you aren't subscribed yet, then please do so down below. That way you don't miss any of my future videos. And I will see you in my next video.